When I lost my mom when I was 24 years old, I thought I went through a pretty typical and healthy grieving process. I guess I didn't really think about it at 24. I thought, well, yeah, I'm sad, and I cried, and I processed and talked with family and friends. But I didn't realize that what quickly turned into numbing or distracting for many years was a way of suppressing and numbing my grief. And I'm sure there was plenty more grief opportunities that happened the next decade plus. But fast forward to my third year in med school, ironically on my birthday, which was a fun event typically, the floodgates of grief opened and I couldn't stop crying. And this was very unusual for a person who would cry 0 to maybe 1 time a year. And I couldn't stop crying. And thank God that I had a homeopathic prescriber who was a naturopathic physician, and she prescribed me the remedy Ignatia, Ignatia. We just call it Ignatia. The full name is Ignatia Amara. This is a homeopathic remedy that can be amazing for anyone struggling with grief. Now, keep in mind, sometimes I struggle with these videos because part of it is a disservice to homeopathy. When we prescribe someone's constitutional remedy that can help them balance on all levels across the board, that's different than what I'm talking about in these videos. So at the time, I needed this constitutionally. This had been bottled up for many years, and so it was important for me to find a homeopathic prescriber who could ask all of the right questions and find the right remedy for me. This video is for patients or anyone who sees this who is struggling across the board with grief. And so what this does is it helps to balance. Of course, it's not going to take away the grief. It's not going to numb or suppress your sadness, but it simply helps give you a bit of a marshmallow suit. So things that were raw, or I have met people who have cried every single day since blank breakup, or they haven't cried in 10 years since blank happened. They're just numb and they don't want to cry, or they're afraid that if they start to cry, they won't be able to stop crying because everything is so locked down. This can be particularly helpful not only after grief, but for people who notice that lump in their throat, or like, I'm gonna cry, I don't want to cry, notice this tightness and lump. I have used this remedy with friends or family, animals even, after they've lost a loved one. I have put a few drops, or pellets rather, in their water and noticed a change. Of course, I am not a vet. I am not prescribing to animals. That was just my own personal, but I've helped so many people ease their raw, grieving hearts with this homeopathic remedy. So if you are struggling with any type of grief, this can be from a job promotion that you didn't get, or a friendship that's been severed or tarnished. So it doesn't have to be this huge loss that you think is justified. It's after disappointment or loss. So this remedy not only changed my life when it was prescribed, but I have seen it work wonders in so many patients. And what I would say, if there was only one remedy for our world to take, this would be the remedy. Who hasn't been through some sort of grief or heartache? Who doesn't need a little support with the grieving process? So reach out if you have questions or share your experience. And of course, I'm always going to promote working with somebody who is trained and versed in homeopathy. And it's important to do follow-ups as well. So even if this helps you, if or when you notice a plateau or regression, it's important to work with somebody who can get you back on the right track. And once again, this remedy is Ignatia. Help heal that raw, grieving heart.